Today I'm going to show you guys how to write a killer listing that gets you a lot more sales than a crappy one. You guys would be surprised the difference between a poorly written listing and how many sales you're going to get with a really well written listing. And believe me, after seeing my business partner Raphael's listings, there is a reason why a lot of his products are ranked page 1, number 1, because his listings are written incredibly freaking well. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've learned from him on how to write those kind of listings. And I personally just rewrote one of my listings, and I'll tell you, when I wrote that originally 6 months ago, and it was absolute garbage. It's so much better now. It's so much better now. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. We're going to walk you through step by step how to do that. One of the most important things about writing a listing, okay, there's really two things you need to accomplish with a listing. For the actual listing, you want to do one, you want to communicate why your product is really good. What's really good about your product? Let me give you some examples. If you have a really heavy-duty product, you have an extra thick product, you have a product that can last longer than your competitors, that needs to be really clearly stated for your customers, because you need to give them a reason to click on yours versus your competitors. So that's the first thing we're going to want to do with our listing, is demonstrate the strengths. The second thing we're going to do with the writing of our listing is we're going to put in hella keywords, because keywords are how people find your product. There are literally 50, 100 different keywords that people could search for your product and find your product and then want to buy your product. The problem is a lot of you are writing tiny little bullet points, tiny little descriptions, and you don't have any keywords in there. So if you only have 10 keywords in there, you're only going to show up for 10 different searches on Amazon. That's the most you can show up for. And like you guys, you're just not going to get found. You're not going to get found, okay? You're missing out on so much potential searches and sales because you don't know how to write a listing with keywords. So I'm going to show you guys how to get the keywords that you need, decide which ones are important, and I do that with what I call a keyword master list. It's right here, and I'm going to show you how to actually create one, because knowing the first part, demonstrating why your product's better, you should already know that from the very beginning. That's why you picked this product. Finding these keywords, well, that's something Amazon gurus don't teach you, because they want you to buy their $500 course to actually learn this. So let's go ahead and actually show you what my plans are. We're going to be creating a listing for a product like this. It's a scratch-off map of the world. Once you travel somewhere, you scratch it off with like a quarter, and then it becomes colored, like you can see here. See? Those colored parts are places I've traveled and scratched off. It's a really cool product. It sells literally 10 times more during Christmas, which will come in handy when we're actually writing the listing. Okay, it literally sells 10 times during Christmas. We'll look it up. We could look it up on Viral Launch if you wanted. So let's go ahead and do the first things first. We're going to want to do. You need to, and don't be lazy, go look at your top 5 to 10 competitors. Read their listings. Every word. Read the listing. Read also a lot of these reviews. Did you know that keywords from reviews get indexed? Also, keywords from questions get indexed. Did you know that? Now you do. So if somebody uses a keyword in the reviews, but it ain't getting used in your actual product, and it isn't getting used up here in your anywhere in your listing, you could still get ranked for it. So you might get lucky if customers write you a bunch of reviews. Like this guy has 673 reviews. How many keywords do you think have been used in those 670 reviews? So once you do all that, the point of doing this is to find a lot of keywords that you wouldn't think about putting in there, okay? And let's give you a really good example. I mentioned this product sells 10 times during Christmas, and that is not a joke. You notice that this guy put the word perfect gift for travelers in his listing. The word gift is probably helping him out a lot during the word Christmas, because gift is probably getting a lot of searches, and this product is probably being bought a lot from that, because what else do you search for during Christmas? So, but one thing you want to notice is that he says perfect gift for travelers, but he missed out on so many other keywords, okay? Does he have the word Christmas in this listing? No, he doesn't. Does he have the word for men, for women, for honeymoon, which is something we'll see from the search volume? No, he has none of that in here. So he's missing out on a lot of potential search volume and sales, because even though he's selling really well, man, like, it doesn't mean your listing's written really well. One thing to note, if your listing is already selling super well like this guy, I don't care how crappy your listing is, don't change it, okay? Because once you change your listing, Amazon will re-index you. And a lot of people, especially if they're already selling really well, don't like where Amazon re-indexes them. They get re-indexed and their sales go down. So only do this if you have a listing that's not selling well, or you're writing your listing for the first time. Don't do this guy and do your probably 3,000 unit a month product and rewrite your listing. That would be really, really stupid. Do not touch it at all. So we're going to use these listings to come up with really good ideas and keywords that we should put together. What are you going to want to do? You're going to want to write them in your Excel document. If you don't have Excel, I know it's not free, go over to Google Drive. It's called Google Sheets, and that is free, and it is literally the same thing. So now I've shown you how to kind of do it the cheap way, and it's a way everybody should do it, though. It's not just for people who don't have a lot of money and aren't willing to spend money on the tools. Now let's show you guys how to use tools to come up with keywords, because damn, will this make your life much easier. So we're going to start off with merchant words. This is the $9 a month option, so it's still really, really cheap. And you guys do have to have the link, by the way, below to get that. For some reason, they have a coupon code that's just like only available if you have a link. I don't know why. But it's not even an affiliate link, by the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in scratch off. We're going to put in map of the world and take a look at what's here. Generally, what I'd want to do actually start off with a more specific keyword. So scratch off map of the world. And I'm going to look here and see all different keywords in their estimated search volume. Notice it says estimated. This is estimated. Nobody knows the real search volume, but these are the tools we have, and multi-million-dollar sellers are still using these. So don't get worked up about that crap. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually download this whole thing. This is going to actually put it in the format we can just pull right into Excel and put it all in one document. So the reason why I like merchant words is because it's cheap. It's very popular. But the one thing it doesn't do a really good job of is being expansive, okay? If we put in scratch off map of the world, or even if we just put in map of the world, it gives us a really narrow scope. So what you're not going to notice in these searches really is stuff like the word gifts, or gift for men, or gift for women, stuff that's a little more broad that we still want to look for. It's just missing that. Let me show you an example so you really understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to go over here to Helium 10. There's other tools that work really well. Viral Launch has a really good search tool too, but I feel like I've talked about Viral Launch a lot on this channel, so let's talk about Helium 10 because they have really good products too. So what do I mean by that? Why I like Helium 10, and I think this has 2 free uses a day, so you don't need to pay for this either, is that it's a little more expansive. What do I mean by that? You see the word, I put in scratch off map of the world in here. I sorted by exact phrase search volume. So the most searches are at the top, the less searches are at the bottom. And you can see the word honeymoon gifts is in here. This could be a product that could be pretty popular for honeymoon gifts. I really don't know. But it seems it gives us more expansive stuff. Okay, here, travel gifts, world maps, paper source. See, that's not relevant to our product, but I want a lot of words. I want it to be really broad and bring us back a lot of words that aren't relevant, so we can go through and pick out all the ones that are. I want to get a wide net, but I want to cast a wide net that's really accurate. So look at this, best gifts for travelers. This kind of stuff you're not going to see in merchant words, even though that clearly is pretty relevant to what we have. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to export this baby into an Excel spreadsheet. Again, I believe 2 free uses a day for this. So there you go. Free stuff. And then we're going to actually come over here and we're going to pull all of this into one Excel spreadsheet. You can see I did it already. You guys can do it yourself. Again, Google Sheets if you don't got this. We've got Helium 10 right here. Boom. We've got merchant words. And we got merchant words over here. Boom. And then I'm going to create what I call the keyword list, because this is really where the power happens. So what I like to do is go over here and copy and paste all of this, all of these search terms, Helium 10 search terms, merchant word search terms, and I want to put them in a tool called Frankenstein. Again, this is free for 30 days. I looked it up just for you guys. So you see, I copy and pasted everything over here on the right. All those search terms over here. And then I'm going to remove all the duplicates because you guys will see words like map and scratch off are used like 1,000 times in these keywords. So what I want to do is I want to actually go put one word / phrase per line. I'm going to turn off maintain phrases and I'm going to click process. And now it's going to show me each and every individual unique keyword. So there's not going to be any duplicates. It's only one word at a time. And then I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it over here. You guys can see your boy Adam's already done it. Now I just realized you guys probably can't see because my picture's here, but there is a copy button right where my picture's at. You could just copy the whole thing. Same thing here. Now we're going to do maintain phrases because I want to see the individual words, but I also want to see how they're being used. So this one will get rid of all duplicate phrases for us. And you can see here now they're phrases, okay? And now we're going to click copy again, and we're going to bring it over here. And you guys know the gist. I've already put them in here under the phrases. So how do we actually use these to write a damn good listing? Well, what I'm going to want you to do is go through each one of these words, each one of these phrases, and scroll through and pick out the ones that really make sense for your product, that are relevant, and put up together a list of 20 to 50 words that you definitely want to use. You can see here I've done a small snippet. There'd be more that I would use in here. And then when you actually are writing your listing, which we could just do right here. I mean, we could just throw it up. Okay, let me show you. Title. We could write out a title. I mean, this is exactly how I did it when I wrote my listing. Title. Bullets. Okay, bullet point 1. Write it out here. And once you do that, you want to go back and make sure you used all these keywords. And you guys are going to ask, some of these keywords are now a lot more relevant than others. Obviously, okay, stuff like travel gifts for travelers gets a lot less searches than does say something like world map or scratch off map of the world. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to obviously come back here and reference things as you have questions like, okay, does this even seem like a relevant keyword? So you could see here something like this. You guys could see how many actual search volume they're getting. Okay. Now I want to mention one thing. Merchant words, helium-10. The numbers aren't exactly the same. You can see they're not even exact order. Okay. World map scratch off is number 1 here, followed by scratch off map of the world. Here, scratch off map of the world is number 1, and world scratch off is number 2. Guys, don't get worried about stupid stuff like that. Okay. It still gives us a general idea of which is searched most and which is most important and what should be and the most. Generally, the most searched thing should be at the first part of your title, right? So we're going to put here, we're going to put one of these 2 words. Depends on which tool you look for. And I think scratch off map of the world sounds a lot better. So I'm going to actually put that first thing in my title. Scratch off map of the world. Okay. Now, if you have any other kind of differentiation, like, thicker, stronger, better, you're going to want to make sure that gets put in here. A couple things you need to know about writing listings. First thing, first 70 characters, okay, is all that people are going to see on mobile. So you probably want to put this in a Word document or count it out. How many is 70 characters? Please include spaces because that's all they're going to see on mobile. So you have this really long title. It can be up to 250 characters. They're only seeing a small percentage of it. So if you have the really important stuff like my product is 50% stronger kind of stuff, if that's at the back of the listing, a title, they're never going to see it on mobile, which is like 60% of sales. So got to put the important stuff at the beginning. On PC, I believe they see 140 characters of the title. I'd have to reference one of my old YouTube videos to know for sure. But that's really important, okay? And then for bullet points, okay, let me give you an example of some really good bullet points. The first ones you're going to want to make sure are the best ones. Because those are the ones that get read the most, but you'd be surprised how many people never read the bullets. So when you get down to like the 4th or 5th bullet, what you can do is something like this. This is some magic here. Okay, a lot of people will do first part of the bullet points all caps, and then they will actually write something like this. Okay, perfect gift for, and then they'll do men, woman, bachelor, honeymoon, Okay, you want to make sure you have the word Christmas in there. Okay, it's a really important Christmas gift. Christmas. And then you're just going to list out a bunch of stuff and try and get a lot of those keywords in there, okay? Maybe for your product, it's like you have like a billion different sizes and you want to put all those here in one little bullet. Don't have this be your first bullets, okay? But when you get to the fourth or fifth bullet, not a lot of people read those. So use those to get your keywords in there, okay? So you can get ranked for a lot of things. With that, a couple more really important things you need to know. Keywords, the way it works on Amazon is you don't have to use a word, you don't have to use a phrase word for word in order to get ranked for it. For example, honeymoon gifts. If I want to get ranked for honeymoon gifts, I don't have to use honeymoon gifts in the listing. I could use the word honeymoon and then at another point in time use the word gifts, and even though they're not together, they're separate, I'm still eligible to get ranked for honeymoon gifts. So just know that, okay? You see how there's like scratch off map of the world map, scratch off map. Those are all really relevant. I don't have to have them all three in here, okay? They have the exact same words in them, just in different orders. Just put one in there, and that'll have the words to get you ranked for all of them. At least, I should say eligible to be ranked, okay? You're not necessarily going to get ranked on page one just because you have them in there, but at least you're eligible to get ranked. And we could talk about what helps you get ranked. Heck, we might as well do that here in a second. So, again, remember the two things. You want to demonstrate why your product's freaking better than the competition, which it should be if you launch a product, by the way. And two, you want to put in as many keywords as possible, okay? Once you go through, write your title, write your bullet points. Make sure you look at your competitors to give you ideas on what your title should look like. I'm not necessarily going to say they have the best written titles, but I'll tell you what, you read 5 or 10 of these, you're going to have a damn good idea of what a good title should sound like. And then, second thing, that's the two things, right? Now let's talk about what does it actually take to get ranked for a product, okay? I was just talking to an 8-figure seller at a meetup we had in LA, and he gave us a lot of info about what it takes to get ranked. And I'll tell you, these 8-figure sellers know what the hell they're talking about. So the most important thing, there's two most important things. The one everybody knows about, okay? You need to get a lot of sales, and you specifically need to get sales accredited to one keyword, okay? So let me give you an example. If you really want to get ranked for honeymoon gifts, which for this this would not be your main priority at all. Your main priority would be scratch off map of the world. But if you really wanted to get ranked for honeymoon gifts for some reason, you would want to get sales specifically accredited to the word honeymoon gifts. So people would need to search for honeymoon gifts and then buy your product as opposed to your competitors. And you also can run PPC against these products too. So if somebody searches for honeymoon gifts, finds your product even though you paid to be there and they buy it, that also counts as a little check next to honeymoon gifts, and you are more likely to be ranked higher for that because you got a specific keyword. A lot of people will use super URLs to actually orchestrate that. That is a whole nother video, and very controversial right now because some super URLs are working and some aren't. But that is one thing that's important to get relevant. The other one that's not talked about a lot, which is very, very important too, is your conversion rate. Let me give you an example. So, scratch off map of the world. 1,000 people search for that every day. What percentage of them actually buy your product? And specifically, what percentage of them click on your product and then buy it once they've clicked, okay? Let me give you an example. 1,000 people search for scratch off map of the world. 50 of those click on you. 50 of those click on your competitor's listing. If 30 of those 50 that clicked on your listing buy, and only 10 of those 50 that clicked on your competitor's listing buy, you have a 60% conversion ratio where this guy over here has a 20%. Amazon really, really, really cares about this conversion ratio for obvious reasons, and that's going to help you get ranked really high. Okay, the reason why people can get ranked for really long tail keywords, like if I had the word gold scratch off map of the world with pink polka dots. Okay, this is a really, really specific thing, and it's just an arbitrary example. Don't get worked up about it. Pink polka dots. If I have a gold scratch off map of the world with pink polka dots, not only am I probably the only guy with that product, but anytime somebody searches for that, they are looking for exactly the product I have. So if I just run some PPC against that term, Assuming that there's not some other guy doing it really well, it should be really easy for me to get ranked for that product because I'm going to have a really high conversion ratio because those people are looking for exactly my product. So as long as I'm giving them a good offer, a lot of them are going to buy, okay? So with that, really hope you guys learned a lot about this actual how to write keywords, how to write a listing. It's really important. Again, if you guys want to see more about how to do this actually really well, I do have a course on how to do this step by step. That's why this is the kind of information you will see in my course, not the bunch of other garbage that other gurus put out, how to make $1,000 a day guaranteed on Amazon, which is a bunch of garbage, by the way. I hope you don't fall for that. And please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate every single one of you who's here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Go optimize your listing right now.